Hi, I'm here to, what am I doing?
Host Tech Linked.
Got it. And I guess that means we're going to be talking about, what's the first topic?
It's tech news. We're talking about tech news.
Sounds good. It was Elijah Week on Floatplane. I had to host this as well. Go check it out.
It was?
Yeah, it's this week.
Right now it's happening.
Yeah. Intel has released a new microcode update that has angered some users, hoping to squeeze a little bit of extra performance out of the company's latest Arrow Lake desktop processors, which were designed to explicitly prioritize efficiency over raw power. Apparently, the environment is more important than gaming at 300 FPS. We're gonna agree to disagree. The update removes the ability for most motherboards to bypass Arrow Lake's digital linear voltage regulator, or DLVR, a feature that can lower power consumption under certain workloads, but can also lead to performance bottlenecks in a more demanding situation, and especially when the CPU is at full load. The feature was added to Raptor Lake, but was locked off by Intel. Arrow Lake has it enabled, and overclockers had been using a bypass called Power Gate mode in the BIOS. But the new update only allows you to do it if your motherboard has an extreme OC mode. Intel says this is to prevent accidental misuse and ensure that it can only be used in extreme overclocking scenarios with sub-ambient cooling, such as liquid nitrogen. Because breaking overclock records is worth destroying the environment.
Who needs trees?
I just need higher FPS. In other Intel news, the company is incorporating 3D cache, AMD's version of which is the secret sauce behind the X3D series chips. But so far, Team Blue is only adding it to their next-gen Clearwater Forest line of Xeon processors, with no plans to do the same for their mainstream CPUs, according to Intel's Florian Maeslinger in an interview with Derbauer and Ben's Hardware. They just don't really see the point. They're just chilling.
Intel's fine. Why don't break what's not broken?
Oh, they do need to fix some stuff, though.
They got coffee again.
Ooh. Two reports have emerged of Ryzen 7 9800X3D processors with burn damage after being used in an MSI MAG X870 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard. One was posted in the Korean language Quasar Zone forum, and the other was in the PC Master Race subreddit by the username Trump Poo Poo's Pants. TechLink doesn't hold any position related to this, that's just their name. Just to be clear, we didn't purposely pick it.
Move on.
MSI has already responded to the reports, saying they're investigating alongside AMD and, interestingly, YouTube channel Gamers Nexus, which has a real, turning yourself in kind of vibe. But maybe MSI doesn't have to be too worried. Some early analysis points to the burnout potentially being caused by user error. The owners in question may have misaligned their CPU before locking it in. Or they may have read online that warming it up on a waffle iron before installing it actually helps with ray tracing. We've all been there, okay? We've all been there.
I mean, understand.
My bad, okay? We've also all likely had at least some personal information stolen by data brokers. But don't worry, our sponsor, Delete Me, are the pros at keeping your personal information, personal. Their experts find and remove your sensitive data from search engines and websites so it can't be passed around like a newborn baby at a grandma meetup. It's your info. It's not a baby. Speaking of babies, Delete Me has a family plan now, so each family member gets their own personalized data cleanup service. And managing it all is easy with Delete Me's user-friendly tools. So head over to the link in the video description and check out Delete Me today.
Baby.
And a baby today. And now we do, what's next, sorry?
The quick bits.
Oh, what? The quick bits. Okay, it's kind of weird, but sure. A thin and light gaming laptop with an upgradable GPU has been listed at a Chinese retailer. It's called the Huan 16, and it's either made by a company called Firebat or Tongfeng PC or Naruto, which I think is my favorite as long as we're, taking suggestions. The laptop appears to have a pretty cool internal design with a Ryzen 7 8845H mainboard and a separate RTX 4060 GPU module that can be swapped out for another one that also uses the GX 2.0 modular system. Now just make some of the other laptop components modular as well. This could have been the one. Some great news for game historians. GOG has announced a new preservation program, which will see the DRM-free platform commit its own resources to keeping older games compatible with modern systems. They're starting with a list of 100 classic games, which will only grow as gamers immediately start arguing about what's a classic and what's not. Two games that aren't up for debate in that sense are the 1998's Unreal and 2000's Unreal Tournament Game of the Year edition, which are now being hosted on Internet Archive for free with Epic Games' explicit blessing. No need to toast your CPU for more ray tracing, the games don't have it.
It won't work. Trust me.
We tried.
We've all been there.
Keep your eye out for fake websites posing as online stores. According to threat research firm Eclectic IQ, a scammer group going by Silk Spectre is apparently creating thousands of fraudulent websites to impersonate the real websites of brands like North Face, IKEA, and Wayfair. So be wary, because some of the domain names for these sites often include the words Black Friday, the upcoming holiday celebrating the cherished North American tradition of impulse buying products to feel something. Literally anything. Please.
Pressing the button feels good.
And Google has finally launched the iOS app for its generative AI, Gemini, bringing iPhone users the ability to access Gemini Live, Google's version of ChatGPT's advanced voice feature, both of which somehow make Siri seem even less useful than she has been for years. iPhone users can now join other Gemini users in being told that they're a stain on the universe, like this student who was instructed to please die. Jeez. Google said they're looking into the incident, which they called an example of how these models sometimes give nonsensical responses. It's just a little silly.
Silly. I mean,
It's a little guy. Like,
a little hateful guy.
and you'd be a little silly not to come back next Monday for more tech news. You need tech news to live. What are you gonna survive on? Sports news? No, Team A is out. Team B is going to the championships. There, I'm done. You happy?
That's all you need. No, you have to stay here, Elijah.
No, I gotta go back to work.
You're sleeping here.